Are live. Yes. Just about. There we go. Okay. So if someone can let me know when that you can see and hear me, that would be terrific. And we will get going. So I'm thinking clarity this morning. Focus, clarity. Yes.
Always.
Clarity always from the studio audience. So we will do that. Let me see. Okay, someone's there. Okay, Debbie Joy, hello. Yes, all right. So you can send another request at some point for a spiritual mind treatment for me, and I will do that. And she is sending us love. Love to you too. You're looking really good. I like your photos on Facebook lately. You look really cute. Okay, anyway. There we go. All right, so this word is being spoken for each one. And if there's anyone you would like to have included or any place on the planet, just think of their name or that spot and realize because we are knowing that we are using an infinite mind, it does include them. One life, infinite. It is something, a mind, a loving presence, a divine personalness that contemplates itself. It loves what it contemplates, and so it creates what it loves itself to become, to express, and to form. As a child making sculpture with clay or Play-Doh, the divine is fashioning forms to express itself. It is the artistic ability of the universe to create that which it desires to express. And it sees its creation always as good, as perfect. The divine creator is infinitely intelligent and completely capable and all-powerful, so it only creates, and it creates perfectly, that which it desires to be, to become, to express as, to see. It sees itself as its creation, and it desires to see itself as the creation sees it. And so each one being that creation of the divine desire is for each one to see that divine creator as creating one. And each one is now seeing this with crystal clarity. The I am seeing the I am that I am, seeing itself perfectly, seeing itself as cause to effect, and with each one, that effect becoming cause, seeing itself in the Creator. So the circle is complete. It is a circle of perfect vision with crystal clarity, and it is a circle of love. The divine loving itself, and that self returning that love, reflecting that love. And so the experience of that love is multiplied in the relationship with that one self, with the divine self of each one, multiplied. This one life being infinite, the expression of this love is infinite in possibility, in capacity, in expression. There is never an end to the expression of love, the expression of good, the expression of the I am that I am. And so that one divine creator creating continuously, there is not a pause, there's not a break in it. There is only I am, that I am, that I am, that I am, that I am, continuously creating, and each one is now aware of this inner creative activity, aware of the movement of life expression within one's own self, aware of all of the activity, all of the movement throughout the universe, within each one and without, aware of even in the so-called spaceless air, the void, there is movement, the movement of that divine knower knowing I am that I am. I am that I am, an activity. I am that I am. Not static, yet unchanging. Unchanging in its knowing of I am that I am. That is all that life knows. I am that I am. And that knowing is throughout this manifest universe. I am that I am, in the air, in the frogs, in each one. I am that I am. And each one is now tuning in and sensing, feeling beyond the relative senses, that soul, heart, spirit of each one sensing the I am that I am with a rhythm more profound than the beating of the heart, than the flow of the blood within the body, the air that is circulating, that rhythm of the divine I am that I am, that I am, that I am, continuously pouring forth its essence in expression. This is the cause of each one, and that which continues and is offered to each one to agree with, to combine with, to identify with, to sense. And so the I am, that soul of each being, is able to hear, to see, to feel, to sense, to agree, without any worldly senses, is able to be one, to vibrate with that divine vibration of love pulsating, expressing itself everywhere. And in this, each one is one with the one. And this is always happening. That connection is always present, whether one is aware of it or not. But now each one's human personality is aware of this ceaseless creative activity of that changeless one. And so each one is more fully alive, more fully committed, more fully embraced, more fully participating, more fully living this thing called life than ever before. That mere superficial living is no longer enough for anyone. The depths of all that is present in every spot, in every moment, each one is more fully aware of all that is being created, all that is living, all that is being known on every plane of action, mentally, spiritually, soulfully, relationally, physically, emotionally, all life, living itself, infinite life, living, expressing, being itself in every moment, right where each one is, no matter what it is. And so each one is fully alive in every moment, fully alive wherever he or she is. Each one is crystal clear about that which is all, that which is always present, that which is changeless, and able to see with that divine perspective, its crystal clarity, all the good that it sees itself as being, demonstrated as what it is creating. And so, living in this perspective, this divine perspective, each one is knowing and relating to that which is eternal and true, unchanging, And each one is able to more easily partake and enjoy in the changing facets of that one expressing itself, and to be calm, serene, undisturbed, to see all the changing activity and motion of the universe within, without, in the world and situations, everything, and seeing the glimmers and the sparks of newness, creativity, different aspects of expressing good, different ways of expressing the greatness and the gloriousness of that which is unchanging. And so each one's life is richer. Each one values this gift of life and its expression in a deeper, richer, more fuller, more complete way. And each one is therefore able to offer to this life a greater participation, a greater unifying with all that is, and to express all that is happening within each one and each one's awareness, inner experience. Each one is able to wisely decide, consciously choose what form each one can express this eternal life in the here and now relative world here in humanity. Each one is clear about the I am that I am, and is therefore clear about how to express that in one's world. And so there is no confusion in what's going on in the world, and there's no confusion going on in anyone's mind. Each one is crystal clear about what to create in that divine agreement, I am that I am. And each one is happily, easily, joyously, calmly, confidently choosing to create that good that he or she desires to express, choosing to create a world in which he or she lives, which is delightful, which is empowering, which is in harmony with that which each one is knowing him or herself to be in the truest self, the truest sense. Each one is able to be clear and make those decisions that keep sacred the integrity of their soul. And so each one is going forward, walking on this earth with confidence, with strength, with clarity, and with a grace and an ease and a joy and a delight, spreading that which has been received: love, appreciation, delight, joy, harmony, and peace. Knowing the truth about oneself, each one knows the truth about all. And so each one is at home in this great and glorious universe. Each one belongs, and each one knows their sacred, honored place at the right hand of the one. And it being infinite, that's everyone's place. So life is good for each one. And in this expression, each one is healthy, wealthy, and wise, with loving, harmonious, happy relationships, and fully supported by the full backing of the universe in all ways. I am grateful that this is the truth, so I release this word to that loving law, that omnipotent law, knowing it is done. Amen, and so it is. And that's the way it is. So good morning, all. And Margit, hello from Germany. Tina, good, excellent. Okay, good job, folks. Let's hear from Reverend Rich.
I am opening I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive.
And so we make a decision about what we are open to receive during this particular time that we have together. And anything is possible. And so we choose what we desire this day. Clarity, peace, joy, fulfillment, or maybe freedom. Freedom from the lesser, freedom from pain, freedom from confusion, maybe love. Whatever that is for you, feel free to open yourself to it, and let's let the activity of this infinite mind know what it is and produce its demonstration for each one of us, particularly, individually, specifically. And we accept it and agree by saying, and so it is.
I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive.
All right, so good morning. I am welcoming us here this morning. And a couple of things on our Facebook page. You'll notice we posted an event August 20th, Sunday, August 20th, here in person. We will have Reverend, she's got the parentheses, Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver here at our center. She is a licensed Science of Mind practitioner, and she's going to be handling our entire event, our entire Sunday gathering. She says, I guess she's talking about scientific prayer, a method for manifesting. So she is a musician and a speaker, and afterwards she will definitely have her little trinkets for sale. So if you want some fairy dust, this will be the place to get it, I'm pretty sure. So you are all invited to come. That's here in person. We may have it telecast. I'm not sure about that yet, but you'll either have that or you'll have me speaking on some random topic of the day. So that's Sunday, August 20th. Not next Sunday, but a couple Sundays after. Two Sundays after. Okay, so that's what that's about. And you also can check our Facebook page. Our practitioner, Susan Neat, is offering, I guess it's second and fourth Tuesdays or Wednesdays. Tuesdays, people are helping me here. Okay. She has posted on it the Zoom link. It begins at 7 p.m. and ends between 7:15 and 7:20. So it's the second and fourth Tuesday. So you need to connect on this Facebook page if you're there virtually to that link and get that. And what else do we have to say? Any other announcements? I think that's it for now. So we are here, and we also, this that is being recorded is saved. So if you're on our Facebook page, you can go to videos, and you will see every single service that we have done since lockdown is all still there. And we also are posting all of this on our YouTube channel. So you could also go to that YouTube channel, and again, everything is posted there. We have our Center for Spiritual Living Princeton YouTube channel, where we've been posting them for this year, and before that it was on my personal channel, Karen Kushner. So between the two, you get it all. How's that? You can also go to our website, cslprinceton.org, to fill out a prayer request. And that's not just for us. So you could send that link for the prayer request to all your friends and your relatives who you think would like prayer done virtually. And one of our practitioners does that spiritual work for an entire week. What could be better? There is no charge for that. It is our gift. If someone would like to make a donation to our center, you can do that also at our website. So what could be easier? Nothing. Life is easy, right? Life is easy. Okay, so moving forward, I did the welcome. What's next? Reverend Rich sings something. A song. All right, back to Reverend Rich. Take us away.
Giving credit where credit is due. This song we wrote, I don't think I ever did it here. My former writing partner, Jean Marie Lazone, wrote the words, and I put it to music. So it's just a little chanting kind of thing. Peace is the answer, love is the way. I know I can get there if I just give today. Let Spirit guide me and take me by the hand. Walk me to the waters of the promised land. Kindness is the answer, compassion the way. I know I can get there if I just give today. Let Spirit guide me, take me by the hand, and walk me to the water of the promised land. Joy is the answer, laughter the way. I know if I can get there if I just dance today. Let Spirit guide me and take me by the hand, and walk me to the water of the promised land. Peace is the answer, love is the way. Kindness is the answer, compassion the way. Joy is the answer, love is the way. I know I can get there if I just give today.
Music.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jeffrey Starbuck, and I'm a licensed practitioner in this joint. And I'm going to lead us in a guided meditation of sorts, which I'm going to read. And you're going to hear and feel. And then I will do a very powerful spiritual mind treatment, which will have an effect on everyone who is here in person or is listening now or in the future. So allow your physical bodies to be relaxed where they are, in the chairs that you are in, or the whatever you're on or in. And breathing deeply in through the nostrils and then out through the nostrils. And once again, breathing in deeply through the nostrils and out through the nostrils. And one more time, breathe in, hold the breath in, inhale a little bit more, and now release that breath, let it go out. And now with the eyelids closed, unless you don't want them closed, let yourself be in the stream of life. You are taking dictation, and you must pay attention. It requires careful, loving attention, and all the time. We don't get any breaks, in a sense. There is no downtime. Even the rest time is a possibility. Even emerging from sleep or entering into it can be a time of glory. You, we, I are always being called forth. Let us listen now and rejoice. Let us abide in the moment and find the eternal. What is next is already present. We have to listen closely. In between the breathing, it arises. During a moment of waiting in the line at a store to move forward, an angel of our next assignment can whisper, "You are here to receive and to give." Pause again. Be not afraid to go slowly. Doubt nothing. And if you find yourself doubting, worry not. You can never ever get away from yourself. And in the center of this thing called you, there is a message from the beyond. This message filters up through the rain. It courses through the wind. In the soul of creation, the essential next stage of your becoming says hello. Smile in recognition. You can never escape, so don't try. And if you find yourself trying, no problem. Just turn around and begin again. Breathe into the sky. Trust your body as you sit beneath the tree of life. You are everywhere, and your potential is awaiting your notice of it. Your next assignment is coming, will arrive, is already here within you. Even if you despair, move into that despair, for it contains the ingredients of your delivery. The message you wait for is already embedded in all of creation. It decorates the room you sit in. It shines on the faces of those you pass on the street. Pay close, careful attention to your breathing. Watch the movement of your mind in a detached manner. That which you seek is now arriving. Watch for and expect it, but very lightly, oh so tenderly. Trust the thing you call Source. That which enlivens you is indeed competent. You are loved, and even in your darkest hour, the sun is soon to be seen. The matrix of existence is inseparable from what you are. You breathe for the beloved. Be ready to love and adore all things, especially those you do not understand. You can never be apart. Trust. Breathe. Lean forward gently. Feel your feet in your shoes on the floor. Inhabit the body. Notice the thoughts. The answer is already present. discern quietly. You are ready. You are present. This is good. The message is now emerging through your own throat. Begin to open your own mouth right now. And now, in and out of this sacred silence, I speak this word of truth and of power, knowing that there is only one power, there's only one source, there's only one thing, there's only one activator. It is love, it is joy, it is wisdom, it is right action. It is the creative matrix of all existence. It is good. It is present in everyone. It is present as everyone, throughout everyone, for everyone. It is in the very next chair and also the chair in which each one sits. Each one is dwelling in this power, in this presence, knowing that they are not separate from it, and knowing that it is breathing and working through them as their own mind, as their own thought, as their own desire. Each one is boldly stepping forth to express this knowing, to express this desire, to manifest this message, whatever it is for each one in this world. Each one is feeling joy, each one is feeling purpose and intent. Each one is being supported and feeling supported. Each one is knowing to the deepest part possible that they are here for a reason, and that it is good, and that they are not separate, and that they are expressing an essential aspect and element of this divine play, manifestation, creation. Each one is experiencing great health, great physical health in the body. Each one is being an absolutely solid and clear expression, individual expression of this divine dance, of this glorious opera, this play, this wonderful picnic. Knowing that this is true, and knowing that there is nothing that can cancel this or go against this, because everything is an expression of the divine. Knowing that all fear and doubt is dissolved. Knowing that any sense of limitation is now released. Each one is now knowing this truth and feeling this love, and it is good. And I now release this word into the law, knowing that this word is the law. This is the creative moment right now. This is good. This is very good indeed, and I am so grateful to know this. And join me in saying, and so it is. And so it is.
must come from within. Any other thought would be a sin. No matter where you're going, no matter where you've been, the whole sense of peace lies within. Politicians talk about peace in our time. The truth is it's really just a state of mind. You want to change the world, then change the way you think. Every other method just keeps us on the brink. Don't need no greedy nations. Don't need no TV stations. Don't need no ratifications. Don't need no qualifications. It's now. It's now. It starts as a need that grows into a seed, that grows into a deed that can change the world. I'm not talking about tomorrow, that will just bring strife. Talking about just living with peace in your life. Don't need no greedy nation. Don't need no TV station. Don't need no ratification. Don't need no qualifications. It's now. It's now. It starts as a need that grows into a seed, that grows into a deed that can change the world, can change the world. This can change the world.
All right. Okay, good. So, hello. Hello. Okay. I don't see any new people I haven't said hello to, so hi. I've been not getting inspired about what our Sunday talk is until very late in the game. I guess it's summer, I guess I'm preoccupied, I don't know what it is, or maybe this is the new way it is. But in preparing for today's talk, I thought, I got the guidance, as I see it, to go through my files. When I became a minister, my thought was, whoa, where am I going to get material for talks? And so I created all these files by subject: grief, happiness, science of mind history, different people are there. I have a folder on Emma Curtis Hopkins, Maya Angelou, who apparently was in a Unity, a New Thought Center at some point in her experience, which I forgot, even though I had read the article. So this file of topics, and I would put in it, printouts mostly. At the beginning, it would be articles from newsletters, and then it became printouts from the internet, jammed with material, which I have rarely looked at. I keep putting stuff in, but I've rarely pulled something out. I mean, I know that there's some that I've pulled out a lot. I've got huge folders for all the major holidays, and those I certainly have used. And I know that I have used the folder called Forgiveness a lot. But there's so many other folders there. In fact, they all don't fit. There's so many. So when I was at the office, I decided, let's go through these folders and maybe something in there will inspire me. And I decided, I got so inspired by the first 3 folders that I pulled out, that became our topic: anxiety, acceptance, and affirmations. And I thought, well, maybe from the files, here's the A's, then I'll do the B's, then I'll do the C's, da-da-da-da. How many letters are there in the alphabet? That'll take care of the rest of the year, right? At least. So I took a look at these folders, and there were some very interesting ideas in them. The folder on anxiety contained an essay I had written. It was handwritten, and it's pages long, and it doesn't have an ending. And I'm like, what is this? What was this about? But it described my experience with anxiety. And one of the things about anxiety that I have learned in having high anxiety most of my life is it's a fear and an uncertainty about that fear. Something bad might happen, but I'm not sure about it. And so there's a vagueness, there's a lack of clarity about anxiety. I don't know the outcome, but I'm worried about it because it could go bad. It could go in a way I won't like. But for today, I want to focus on a different aspect of anxiety that I think is unnecessary, but I think that I have lived with for a great deal of my life. My father had a mantra, which I thought was hysterical, but I accepted. Whenever we were driving along the highway, if there was some little creature on the side of the road that was no longer living its fullest expression, my father would say, I didn't see it. And so we would learn to look what he didn't see. But I actually learned, no, don't look at it. I don't want to see it. Don't look at it. And so at some point in my childhood, I actually developed the situation, the condition of not being able to see distance. And so if there was something along the side of the road that I would not enjoy seeing, I really did not see it. I couldn't see it, certainly not the details. And that's what I want to talk today, because my folder on acceptance said this: I will not be willing to see what I'm experiencing until I am willing to accept what I'm experiencing. Let me say that again. I will not be willing to see what I'm experiencing until I am willing to accept what I'm experiencing. And then it goes, and I don't know, these are my handwritten notes on an index card, so unfortunately, I don't even know where this came from. If you see something you don't like and you beat yourself up, pretty soon you will have trained yourself to stop looking. My whole life, suddenly with crystal clarity, I see that, because lately I am seeing better than I ever have before, and I'm able to see distance now. And I notice as I go through my house and I'm looking at the floor, I'm like, what the heck? Where did that dust in the corner come from? What is this? I'm seeing these things, and I realize that I have changed, that I'm willing to deal with what I'm seeing. But I know that was not always the case. I would get overwhelmed, it would be too much, and I would rather not see it. One of the things that I learned about piles of papers is that the pile of paper would stay there because inside that pile probably is something that I don't want to deal with. That's why it got on the pile. I had to deal with something, and something in me said, not now, I don't want to deal with it now. Let me put it over here. I'll look at it later. I'll read it later. I'll take care of it later. And so as I've gone through some of these piles, I have found things that make me feel guilty, things that I don't want to remember, things that, oh my God, I never did, things overlooked, things, one time I found a check for $500, when you're not looking, you're not seeing all kinds of things. And so that belief that we humans come into the planet with from the human race, that we can't handle our lives. I'm not enough. I get overwhelmed. It's all too much. I'm limited in some way. For me, that belief got coupled with, because I can't handle it, let me only see what I believe and what I'm ready to handle. And so sometimes I notice as my goods has been multiplying and multiplying, there's been times when my good has expanded so much that I feel I can't handle all the good coming in. And so I can, religious scientist that I am, I can actually tell that I stopped the good. It's like, okay, enough, God, that's enough. When I first started opening up to giving and receiving unconditional love, I was part of a little spiritual support group that did that. And we had this little spiritual practice at the end where each one of us, we were in a circle. We may know each other or not. Anyone who showed up was welcome. And when it was your turn, you made a request for support and consciousness. And so if it were my turn, I would say, I request your support in consciousness to be able to handle all the good in my life. And then what we had to do was make a gesture to receive. Like this. When I started, my gesture was like this. And everyone in the circle had to go like this. I unconditionally love and support you just the way you are in all your magnificence. So why don't we do that now? Because I actually feel tingling in my hands when I do it. I did back then too. So just pick somebody in the room, or you could all do me, but I'll do you. And so let's say it together. I unconditionally love and support you just the way you are in all your magnificence. Do you feel any tingling going out of there? Yeah, okay, out there and da-da-da. And so while people were saying that to me, you had to keep your hands up to receive. You had to just sit there and receive. And so I'd be receiving like this. And when I first started, they took so long saying that sentence. And I'm like, all right, enough, or whatever. But as I grew in practicing accepting that love and support in consciousness, I noticed my hands got wider and wider, and eventually I was like this. And I could stay, after they all were done, I could stay receiving. And the whole time you're like this, they would stay giving. As long as you could take it. It was always the receiver who ended it, never the givers. And so accepting what you are experiencing is critical for you to be able to see it. Because until you're ready to receive, you might not even be aware that it's there. And this goes for the good things as well as the not so good things. I came across, again in this file on acceptance, an article, newsletter, from the Atlanta Church of Religious Science, written by Dr. Kennedy Schultz, 1999. And he said, I did not know that when we shut our hearts and minds to people, we shut them to God as well. I think I was expecting God to lead me to the right people and away from the wrong ones. I did not realize that people, both the kind ones and the cruel ones, are here to help me find my way to God. And although the way to God involves us doing what good we can for other people, it begins with learning to see people for what they are and finding ways of accepting from them the best with gratitude and leaving the rest without resentment. In my notes, one of the beliefs or attitudes about the world and about life that causes undue anxiety is believing that life or the world should be the way you think it should be. And I've seen myself and I've seen other people arguing because someone did not behave the way that they should have behaved, or the world is not operating the way the world should be operating. And so we want to change the world and we want to change other people because they're not behaving the way that we believe they should. And so that worldview that life should be the way that I think it should be is causing us unnecessary anxiety because it's a lie. The world is not supposed to be the way that any of us think it should be. And no one in your life should behave the way that you think they should behave. The world is going to behave the way that the world is. Life is going to be the way that life is. Other people are going to be the way that they are. And what Dr. Kennedy Schultz is telling us that he learned is he learned to see people the way that they are rather than the way he needs them to be or thinks that he should be. And by doing that, by seeing people, accepting people the way they are, he's been able to accept the best from them, whether what they were doing was good or cruel. And he writes, in my life, I have gotten a lot of wisdom from the villains I have known once I forgave them their villainy. If we're stuck on they shouldn't have done that, we can never get to forgiving their villainy. And if we can't forgive their villainy, then we never get to the good that we got out of that, which probably was wisdom. And what is that wisdom? If nothing else, it's realizing everybody is different. Every single one of us, right? An individualized expression of the divine. No one's going to act the way that you think that they should. But yet, I can't even imagine the energy I have spent arguing in my own head about the way people should be. And then get all upset with them and blah, 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 all that drama, right? So to accept the world the way it is with its flaws, also accepting life is the way life is, the way it works. And the Science of Mind teaching starts with this is the way the creative law, the law of cause and effect, works. It is done unto you as you believe. I'm mentoring someone out there in the world, and the person was saying, they should do this, and they should provide better communication, and they should, let me know and let this other person know things that are going on. And I kept saying, no, it entirely depends on your consciousness. I had to yell it just about, because they should do this, they should communicate in a way that I can understand. No, they communicate the way that they communicate. That's it, accept it, and then be willing to make a decision about it, to respond in a way that works for you. When we accept the way that the world is, we're willing to look at the way that the world is, right? And then we deal with it. And believe me, I'm not saying the world is a pretty place. And so many people, right, we want to go back to the Garden of Eden. It's gone, folks. It's gone. You can't find it. You can't find Shangri-La. Gone. Never was. Someone shouts out, right? And so many of us are living in fantasy. The way life should be, the way people should respond, what the world should be doing, what the government should be doing. And that is all fantasy, and living in fantasy unconsciously creates anxiety because our full self knows everything. Our higher self, our true self, right, or even our subjective mind, right, how much, right now at this moment, the influx of sensations and information coming into us is more than our conscious mind can handle. So we only see what we're ready to see. But the subjective mind is getting all the rest. Something in us picked up and knows that person's not going to do what they just said. I hesitate sharing this. And those in the audience here are saying, share. So before I moved here, I lived in a beautiful studio apartment in Manhattan. And I had an entertainment center that I got from IKEA. Huge. It filled the entire wall. And I had to put it together. It said you needed an assistant. So I called on the divine to be my assistant, and I would use my leg or something to hold pieces together while I was hamming things together, whatever. Huge entertainment, heavy entertainment center with the Gigunda TV set, and then the stereo. And I think there was maybe a DVD player. No. It was a VCR player. So that's how long ago it was. And books. It was huge with windows and doors that opened and enormous. In fact, I don't think I brought it here. Or if I did, it's gone, thank God. Because now nobody has those things. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So it was, once I got it assembled and I got all the things and all the electronics all connected behind it, it was up there against the wall. I lived there 3 years. I did not move this entertainment center until I was moving here. And I had cats. I lived in a New York City apartment building. I was pretty proud of myself, never seeing a cockroach. I'm clean. I'm neat. And I figured the cats would, do something if one came wandering in. Moving the day before moving day, I started disconnecting all the little things on the entertainment center and got to the point where I could move it. And I moved it. And behind my VCR, I found a colony of cockroaches, live and dead, living, dying, buried. I didn't see it. They didn't exist because I didn't want to see it. I couldn't have handled it. I couldn't have handled it when I did see it, but I had to. And of course, my answer was the whole thing went across the hall into the garbage. I mean, I'm not dealing with this out there. And I'm looking at the cats. What the hell? Could you have given me a clue? Well, maybe they did. And I wasn't listening because I didn't want to see it. So the thing is that I was still experiencing it those 3 years without my conscious awareness. That divine guidance was going, I mean, cockroach, cockroach, cockroach. And my answer always was, no, I don't have any because I don't see them. There aren't any. And besides, if I did, the cat would take care of it. Well, apparently the cats learned to make friends with them. You know, it was a happy family there. But, we must realize that we are seeing the world at the level that we believe we can handle it. And when we believe we can't handle it, we make up a story about how it should be in order for us to be able to handle it, right? So we're all living in the world that we believe we can handle, or that we're used to. I mean, there's people who are believe so much that they're powerless, that their whole world looks like they're a victim and they need everybody to help them. But they're not seeing their strengths. They're not seeing that they are powerful. They're not seeing all that they are. Because on some level, someone who's been raised to be completely dependent their whole lives, on some level, they couldn't handle the truth that they could handle their lives. You can make a decision. You can take charge. You can handle what's dead on the side of the road. You can handle it. But you never know that if you believe you can't. So, on these little notes here, I won't see what's going on with me because I believe there is something wrong with it, with me. Like, you know, secretly I believe, you know, I'm not the best house cleaner. I believe that there's something wrong with someone who doesn't, you know, do weekly house cleaning. Or, you know, well, actually I was more like that. Now I'm able to see it. So now I actually have adopted a number of daily tasks and chores that keep my house fresh continuously. But I've been living in that habit for a while now, and the thing is that I'm willing to see things. I'm willing to face things that I know I could not see before. And I know I believed I couldn't handle it. The thought in me was, it's too much. I've got too much to do. It's too much. I wonder if that creates all those attention problems that people are saying. It's too much. I can't focus on one thing because then I would have to deal with it. And I don't believe I can, so there's too many things, right? There's a consciousness we got to think about. So this need that the world, I had 3 beliefs or something to do with this that I think are interesting. The belief that the world or people should make things easy for me, right? How many of us say that? Say that. I was trying to make a donation, and actually I have someone, they're trying to refund me money. So they put through a piece of refunding me money, and I never got the refund, and I brought it up after a few weeks, and they said, oh, there was another piece that had to happen for you to get refunded money. You know, I'll do that now, blah, blah, blah. But then that belief or that comment, they should make these things easier, right? They should make it easier. And we're full of suggestions, right, about how the world can make things easier for you to find things, to see things. You go to the grocery store, this should be easier, that should be easier. We're just filled with these ideas. And yes, life as it is easy when we see it for what it is. It's easy to identify someone who's lying. It's easy if you're really seeing how they are behaving. It's crystal clear. I think about a relationship I had, and back then, in those younger days, it was really important for someone to be faithful. And so if they were cheating on you, that used to be my button, that would be the end. If you're cheating on me, that's the end. And with that kind of, operation, I seem to have that experience a lot. But I remember one time, one period of time while I was with someone, I didn't want to see it. And so I was fooled. But there was a moment when I said to myself, if I didn't know this person better, I would swear they were cheating on me. But they're not. Because they're who I believe that they are. Even though all the evidence was there that something was amuck in our relationship. I didn't want to, and even when I said it, I knew I didn't want to handle it if it were true. I wasn't ready to leave, to break it up. I wasn't able to confront the person, to talk about it, to get deeper, back then, deeper into my feelings, no way. So I wasn't able to handle it, and so I literally now did not see some things. Phone number, a pink comb, certain behaviors, the way everybody else in the room was acting, unable to see what was right there before my eyes. So, acceptance. Our first step is to accept life and people, the world, the way it is, and then trust that divine presence will guide us in how to respond, in what to do, and how to take care of it. I can't remember all the details about how I took care of those cockroaches, but they're gone. And I do check. I remember after I moved here, I checked my home for a while to make sure they didn't show up there. And if there were, I was ready to get the exterminator, bring out the big guns, because I was able to deal with it once I saw it. But how I could have lived in that apartment, and some people do live in apartments in New York for forever, and they don't see it, right? So these ideas, other ideas that make us crazy, how about this? I must do well. I must be the best. I must be perfect. I must do well. Again, all fantasy and not accepting of who you are. Maybe who you are is you don't do this so well. So love me or leave me, right? And another one, the world must treat me well. The world must be fair. People must do well by me. I shouldn't be hassled. I shouldn't have to learn anything new to be able to just operate on this planet, like money right now. How are you all spending your money? You have to go to special machines to deal with coins. Banks won't accept coins anymore. I still sneak it into them, but they won't accept coins. Pennies are, nothing. Bitcoin, what's that? I don't know. All these other new financial ways of sending and receiving money. It shouldn't be that way. It should be easy. The world should not change. Human beings should not change. We should go back to the way that it was. All of that is creating a fantasy for us and creating anxiety. And it's all because we aren't willing to see the world, life, people, the banks, the way they are. And we don't want to see it because we believe we cannot handle it. So, solution. Third file, affirmations. My favorite affirmation is, I can handle it. I have to say this with every new situation in the world that I have to respond to, that I have to deal with. Call it a hassle. I can deal with it. I can, and I find as I say that to myself, ideas come to me that guide me in how to handle it. But in addition, I actually feel a little more alert and a little bit, I can, not just a little bit, it's not feel, I actually can see the situation a little bit better when I'm saying I can handle it. Reverend Dr. Noel McGinnis, who made his transition a little bit earlier this year, I think he did, he used to say his daily affirmation was, all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. He said this every day. Again, building that consciousness. But then he dealt with whatever came to him, knowing this affirmation, which lifted him up and made it easier for him, easier in me. I am easier, more joyous, and it is more glorious for me to live in this world. So all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory, and I am the one who is easy, joyous, and glorious in relating to the world. That people can be however they can be, however they are, and I can handle. I can trust my judgment. I can respond appropriately. I can say no to bad behavior. And I can say yes to blessings. So, what's the point? Noel McGinnis got, what's the point? I've been saying for several months now, my little mantra. I always see with crystal clarity the one reality, the world that is just me. I always see with crystal clarity the one reality, the world that is just me. And with that affirmation, I've been seeing clearer and clearer and clearer, because I'm just seeing myself, but I'm also willing to see myself. I'm willing to see whatever I need to see for my highest and greatest good. Another affirmation, I am willing to see what I'm dealing with. I'm willing to see what I need to see in me, the false beliefs, the inner crimes. I am willing to see it for my highest and greatest good. And I'm willing to accept myself unconditionally, just the way I am. That statement, there's an affirmation. I unconditionally love and support myself just the way I am in all my magnificence. It was great receiving that from others, but I had to be willing to receive it, and my hands got wider and wider. But now I'm also willing to say it to myself. And so why don't we do that affirmation together? All right? I unconditionally love and support myself just the way I am in all my magnificence. That's what it is. And so you can open your hands and whatever gesture you like or not. And let's go. I unconditionally love and support myself just the way I am in all my magnificence. Let's say it again. I unconditionally love and support myself just the way I am in all my magnificence. Just the way I am without putting yourself down, without needing to be any better. And doing that with ourselves, we can do that with others. And trust that we are always guided to be with the right people, not the nicest people, the right people at the right time, doing the right things for the highest and the greatest good of all. Another one of my affirmations, which causes you to deal with what you got and make the best of it. Make the best of it. Make the best of the body that you've been given, best of the mind that you are using, the best of this teaching that we are learning, the best of the people that are in your world, some cruel, some kind, the best of everything, the best with what you've got, with what you can give, doing your best job, even though it's not as good as everybody else, doing what is the best, given your givens. Given your givens. Given your givens. Right? Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. The courage to change the things I can. And the wisdom, the sight, the vision to know the difference. Right? All right, so let's take all this within us and contemplate it as Reverend Rich chooses a selection to sing, and then we will move forward.
I open myself in sweet acceptance, the luminous love light of the one. Open myself in sweet acceptance to the luminous love light of the one. I open myself in sweet acceptance to the luminous love light of the one. I open myself in sweet acceptance to the luminous love light of the one. I'm opening. I'm opening. I'm opening. I'm opening. I open myself to all that I receive, the luminous love light of the one. I open myself in sweet acceptance to the luminous love light of the one. I'm opening. I'm opening. I'm opening. I'm opening.
Hello, hello. We open ourselves in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. It's really cool, isn't it? The law of giving and receiving. That's what we're always participating in. This is Ernest Holmes. Everything in nature moves in circles. What goes out must come back. What comes back must go out. Unless the seed is sown, it cannot bear fruit. There must be a planting time for every harvest. Those who give all receive all. Those who refuse to give limit the possibility of the greater good returning to them. Love and you will be loved. Extend joy and you will become joyful. With that in mind, and everyone out there in TV land can go to the website, and there's a place there you can figure it out. It's been people who know. Somebody could say. Anyway, you'll figure it out. There's a way of contributing there, of supporting this work. If you feel drawn. If you feel drawn to support this work, draw yourself in support. And now, here we go. Here in the television audience, we pass this around.
abundance that the luminous love light brings to me. I open myself to the sweet abundance that the luminous love light brings to me. I'm opening. I'm opening. I'm opening. I'm opening. I'm
All right, so let me do a spiritual mind treatment. This word is being spoken for each one. One life, the life divine, creating this entire universe and everything in it. And it is creating a world that works for everyone. And each one is now seeing what this divine creator is creating and realizing that each one is equal to that which is created, that each one is able to see clearly, with crystal clarity, what is created, and to respond to it in an intelligent, wise, creative, and loving, free way. Each one is able to respond, and no matter what is in his or her world, each one is able to respond from that true self, that unique way that is theirs. And each one, therefore, is able to live in this world with this bunch of people on this planet in the condition it's in right now. Each one is able to see it with clarity, see the potential that is there, and see the divine guidance within, showing each one the path, the steps, the behaviors, the choices, the way to move and navigate on this planet in a way that brings to each one the best that there is. And so each one is experiencing an easy, happy, anxiety-free life, dealing with life as it is, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and the whole world and everyone in it. There is a way for each one to be their unique self here, now, in these times, this world, and each one is living it. I am grateful that that is the truth. I release this word to the law, grateful it's so, and so it is.
So it is.
That's the way it is.
Running all around, fixing this and that. Giving it up to God, then taking it back. Just release and let it go. You don't have to think about it no more. Get out of the way. Yeah, get out of the way. Get out of the way and let God do His thing. You look like the weight of the world's on your back. Take a deep breath. Get you some slack. All that drama ain't good for you. You couldn't change what is if you knew what to do. Get out of the way. Yeah, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Let God do His thing. The sun's gonna shine and the river's gonna flow. Tide's gonna rise without you say so. The universe is working and the good is flowing. You don't dig up seed to see if it's growing. Get out of the way. Yeah, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Let God do His thing. Yeah, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Yeah, get me out of the way. Yeah, get out of the way. Get out of the way.
All right, that's the way it is. See you all next week. Thank you for coming. Bye-bye.